In the beginning. Does anyone remember their first memories? Did someone put them there? Are they genuine memories? You know, like memories can be planted in by repetition of stories and things like that. The old memory banks are a little bit not that reliable. But I have a memory. One of my first memories, and this is what I go back to. Like it's a little bit of the INFJ personality type, maybe, where you overthink things. Do you know what I mean? Bit of overthinking. You take in all the data from everywhere, and you process it for months and months and months and months and months and months and months, and then like too much information. I do get in trouble for too much information, but I can process a lot of details, and I can usually come up with the right answer. I don't usually get it wrong. The times that I do get it wrong, I blank them out of my memory. That's best. See what I mean? See how I'm saying this memory thing's not that trustable, but the way that I've implanted this memory into myself, because I've told the story so many times. Once the telling of a story and the retelling of a story, it can change and change and change, and then all of a sudden you don't know whether it's true or not. But I do remember being 3. Now, who remembers anything from 3? But I do remember what room I was in, what bedroom I had, what house it was, where we were. I do remember what the phone book that we had hanging from the old Bakelite rotary phone that hung down with this braided cord thing, this black sort of Bakelite phone. Do you remember those rotary phones? No, you don't remember them. Okay, well, back in the day, we're not talking about rotary phones in the history of communication. That could come into it later in communication, but I do remember what house we were in. I do remember what year that phone book was, and we were there for a few years. So it could have been that I was 3, but it's probably more likely that I was 4, maybe. But I tell the story that I was 3. So let's just go with the story that I tell. The story that I tell is that I was a little shit of a kid. I was a shit. I would have temper tantrums, and I'd get locked in my room, and I would find a way out. There's no way I would be able to not get out. I worked out how those sash windows worked, and I scale a 6-foot fence to get. No problem. There's nothing you can do to keep me in. I'm determined as hell. I don't know if that's an INFJ thing. Comment down below if it is. I don't know. I'm not sure, but determination is one of the personality traits that I've got. And it was a Saturday night, if I remember rightly, and Starsky and Hutch was on, an old TV show that had cops and robbers. There's 2, good-looking LA cops that had I don't know what sort of car it was, one of those, not a Mustang, maybe a Corvette, I don't know what it was, but they had, a little bit like a slide across the bonnet like a Dukes of Hazzard type thing, get in through the window. I don't know if they quite did that, but they were going chasing these bad guys around the place. And here I was watching this show that I wasn't allowed to watch, but I'd snuck out of the room that I'd been put to bed. Go to bed. You got to be get to what you're told. Okay, righto, go to bed. But I would sneak out and sneak around the side of the house, round side, and I would watch this show that was on TV on a Saturday night. I remember it was daylight savings because it was still light outside, and I'd watch this show through the window, and I don't know, half-hour shows, I suppose, something like that, and then I'll sneak back in and go to bed, and I spent the next 3 months thinking deeply. Super important, thinking deeply. I had a dilemma, a quandary. I had to try and decide whether I was going to be good or evil. And I felt that I was smart enough to be evil, because I think you've got to be smart to be able to get away with stuff, to be able to lie and keep up with your lies and all that sort of stuff. They're 3 years old, maybe 4, whatever it was. I'm thinking all this through. Am I going to be good or am I going to be bad? I had some good role models, on my grandparents' side. They were really, really super nice people, and good people. Like really, put them on a pillar. Both of them, they were the best people ever. Anyone that's ever met them will say that. So I had these really good role models there. And my parents were all right, but they were, it was the early 70s, and there were certain lifestyles to be kept up with, it was the cool thing to be whatever lifestyle. But I had the quandary of deciding whether I was going to be good or evil, and this was based on the Starsky and Hutch show. This one episode that I watched where the good guys were bumbling idiots and the bad guys still got caught, but they had all these opportunities to get away with it because these good guys were just bumbling idiots. That was the thing that was sold. There was nice guys, but flawed. So I had 3 months deciding all the pros and cons of whether I should decide to be good or evil. Is that overthinking it as a 3 or 4 or even a 5-year-old? Is that overthinking it? Does everyone do that? Do all kids do that? I don't think so. All right. Anyway, I'll come back tomorrow.